today I'm going to do something I've never done before during this time. Instead of a typical meditation, I've asked Harry to come up here with me, and he's going to lay down a little bit of background for the meditation time. And we are going to use this time, last Sunday was Sally's last Sunday with us. So we stand here this morning, music directorless, and we're okay. And we have a professional here with us to help bridge that gap as we move into the new. And I'm going to ask all of you to hold the energy of that with us this morning. We're going to use our meditation time more as a visioning time. What will we become? Remember 2 Sundays ago, Michael Gott sat at that piano and rocked it hard in here. We had a fantastic, absolutely reverberating musical Sunday. And then last Sunday we said our goodbye. And this Sunday, let's open. We know that it's all energy, right? We know that we tap into that energy of the divine because it's also all God. It's all within God. It's all happening within God. And so what we're going to do is breathe. Go into that centered space of heart and feel Unity of Sebring's music ministry. What is it to you? Is it a full band sitting on the stage? Is it what? Whatever it is, just feel. And Harry's going to play with me. And we'll just close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Let it go. Did you hear it? We had music from the audience, so we are already manifesting our music program. Ringtones count. Just feel. What does music bring for you? What is the music here at Unity of Sebring? What part does it have in the experience that you have here? That resonance, being carried on the tune and the notes. Is it a stage full of people? Is it drums and guitars and bass? I cannot believe it, another ringtone. See, we're calling the music forward and the music is coming. Don't think of a specific person or a specific look of something. Feel what you want the music here to feel like. We are praying the music, the ministry, the songs, the laughter, the tears, whatever needs to come with it. The hands that make the music, the voices that join in. Feelings of healing, feelings of love. Allowing those notes to inform, to tap into that energy of God and expand in creative ways. We come here to be loved. We come here to connect. We come here to heal and to grieve and to love and live and be joyful. And grow. And as our music program grows now, we're going to take a moment without words and just with the tune and feel it grow. We know that whatever is to come here, whatever is to become here, that it is one aspect of oneness, a celebration of the divine. We open now. We send out that energetic call, informed by divine love. We reach out now to meet, to bring in, to harmonize with, and to grow this music ministry with the right and perfect music director, the musicians that will resonate out our call, the songs that will be divinely placed in their playing, the healing and love that will take place along those waves of sound. And we are so grateful knowing that it's already done. It's already moving. On these notes, on every note, on every vibration of love, our music flows, our music ministry grows, and we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. And amen. Thank you. Thank you all. And when Harry brought up that song and said, it's about seasons and things, boy, it brought one of my favorite illustrations about how our lives grow to mind. And it brought out my inner science teacher of years. So, the shells. Pretty soon, by the way, we're going to have something new instead of our shell necklaces. Mike and I are giggling. Krista, who joined our membership today, I don't say this a lot. Okay, I think I'm going to say it out loud now to everybody because I got a big old shell in my hand. We give out those shell necklaces, and they're lovely, and they're beautiful. And we say this beautiful message about how each one is a little different, and we're all made of the same stuff, and they're all made of the same stuff. As a science teacher, I know that all of those beautiful shells are dead snails. So every Sunday, when we give out those necklaces, my insides go, there's 100 dead snails. Every week. And I try not to say too much about it because we didn't really have another option. I've looked and looked, and we wanted to give something that, excuse me, gentlemen, wouldn't threaten your manhood. So we didn't think that many men would be okay wearing flower necklaces. And, I know we're really expanded here in Unity, but it exists even here. And so we were trying to think of different things. And Krista, during one of our weekly meditation and talks with Trish, she said, what about paper beads? Because we're also trying to move into a more environmental space here at Unity of Sebring. We want to move as close to as we can to in time to really not throwing away anything and not using things that can't be reused. And so paper beads, you can take old magazines, wrapping paper, things like that, and roll these beads. And so we had a little test drive. Krista and Casey and I came in one night and sat around and chatted and rolled beads and got glue all over everything and had a wonderful time. And they are beautiful. Every one of them is unique, even if you're cutting them out of the same kind of paper. And so very soon, you're going to see paper bead necklaces instead of a bunch of dead snails. So yes, so we now have, twice a month, we have a group that will meet to create more and more paper beads, and we're almost to the point now of making our first sets of necklaces so that we can move out of that. But now that I've given you a little morbid fact, let's move on, shall we? Okay, so the way that shells grow, see, the shells are a part of the snail's body, and the way that they grow is the way that we grow in life, except they give us a beautiful illustration to be able to show it. If you look at any shell, on the end of it, you're going to see it moves in these swirls. Shells grow in circles. And the snail, as it grows, its body expands and moves, but the baby snail that first was born and started growing is right there. So the end of every snail shell has the very first growth of that snail. And circle after circle after circle, it expands. As the snail grows, it carries with it every bit of its journey in the shell. And those swirls are the same way that we are. When we talk about spring cleaning something, whether it's our house or our BS, belief system, I know, it's not mine, I can't take credit for it. So many Unity ministers use it. But our BS is what's driving our life. It really is. And some of our BS really is BS. And we need to differentiate what's going on there. What has creative, generative power? Because we know in Unity, every bit of this, whether it was a great year or a chaotic time or a health or illness or whatever it was that was showing at the time, every single bit of it serves to help us grow. We can see it in the snail shell. It's there, right there. We don't always appreciate seeing it in here. And as we grow, and as each one of those swirls goes, we are growing in a spiral. And every time we keep coming around again so that that belief system gets to show itself again. And that belief system, maybe it will transform. Maybe the belief system is, as some people say, life is hard and then you die. If that's the belief system that's driving, guess what? Life's going to be hard and then you're going to die. If the belief system that's driving is everything that is before me is for me, changes everything. Absolutely everything. Because we can take the worst tragedy of our lives and build something beautiful from it, if that's the belief system that we have. So when we're spring cleaning, again, whether it is our beliefs, whether it is coming to realize what's driving this vehicle, or whether it is our house and things that no longer serve us. Where's my words today? Whatever it is, we are able to look at that coming around the spiral again. This year, we may be absolutely attached to keeping something that was a memory or that was attached to someone that we love because we just can't part with it. We can't bear to see it gone. The next time around the circle, we may look at it and think, gosh, this would really be great for somebody else. If we allow that expansive energy to grow us and expand us. If we allow ourselves to step into larger and larger visions of what this life can be, of what our music ministry can be. I've told everybody multiple times now, and I want you to hold this with me, everything on this stage moves. Wouldn't it be cool to have so many singers and so many musicians so that we had to move this piano down onto the floor so that we would have room for everybody else? Can we see it? Because if we can see it, it can be. And I invite you to know that whatever the biggest picture is you can see in this moment is only about half the size of what that could possibly be, whatever that picture is. As I keep saying to you, it's never going to look the same as you think anyway. It's never going to look like you think it will look when you do get wherever it is that you're going. All of those changes moving through. You know me and my stuff. So we've got more Lent books, by the way, if you don't have a Lent book and you didn't get one. And I'm going to put these shells here. If you would like an example of those spirals to bring home and sit on your desk, yeah, this is why I stand on the stage. I'm so short, I can't see anybody when I come down here, so I'm going back up. Okay. Not that I think I'm all that, it's that I can't see you if I'm down there. 5 feet tall. Okay, so if you'd like, when we're done, you can take one of the shells and have a tangible example of those swirls and those spins and that growth. So I made a promise this morning that I would sing a song as part of this talk, and I didn't know what the talk was going to be when this was going to come up. And when I found out that it was going to be about spring cleaning and letting things go, it's the perfect possibility for me to step into a song that is probably going to seem a little tongue-in-cheek at first. You may know it. It may tap into your inner Disney princess. And if you feel, see, Casey, we should have had you in drag today, and you could bring out the Disney princess with me in this. But it may tap all of those things. But I invite you to really be with the words of this song and really think a little differently with a new mind about what it's saying to you. Ooh. Sorry, thought it was muted. Okay, so we had a little fun with Let It Go and Disney princesses, but did you hear the words? See, we think that that song is about a different thing than that song is about. Let it go. Oh, girl, let go of that thing and just leave it behind you. That thing that's holding you back, whatever it is. No, that's not what that song is about. That song is a call to action. That song says, you may have been held back by this thing. Put that aside and unfurl what's underneath. Stand in your power and demand the bigger life. This is the part of our BS that can really, really stand in our way of growing. Yeah, we need to let go of things to make room for other things, but the bigger piece of letting go is letting go our grip on something that holds us back. Moving through those spirals, growing ever larger and larger, and allowing a bigger picture to take place. David and Goliath. In the Bible, they're trying to win a war, basically. Let's put it at its base. And the army brings out this giant of a man. And the challenge is, bring me your best soldier, and whoever wins this wins, basically. And all of the soldiers in the army are terrified because Goliath is massive, is huge. Think about these situations in our life. Where is Goliath for you right now? What is it? Is it finances? Is it relationships? Is it something you've always wanted to do and don't think you have a right, or you're not good enough or big enough or bold enough? What is it that we are holding on to, that we are not unleashing to allow to slay the dragon in front of us, as it were? So David, who was just there to bring something to somebody, says, why are we putting up with this? Why are you letting this be what stands in the way of you? Do you not have a belief and a faith in God that you can do what is yours to have done? Don't you know that the power of God in you is stronger than any possible thing that stands out in front of you? And so they try to give, he says, I'll go up against Goliath. I got this. I can do it. And so they try to put armor on him, but he's not a soldier. He's not used to that. See, we do that a lot of times in life. We will take on the roles that people try to put us in. And sometimes when you put on that armor or that costume, it feels like a costume and it doesn't fit. When you step into your wholeness, when you let it go and allow your wholeness to move forward, something transformative takes place. And so David says, do what you need to do. So they come and they put all this armor on him. Every time I see it, I get this picture of this poor guy, what is this? Laden down by all these layers and this ill-fitting suit of armor that isn't his because it isn't his. Because that's not what he's about. He is about the faith of God being so strong, his faith in God being so strong, the power of God being so absolutely all-powerful that he doesn't need some stupid suit of armor. So he takes the thing off and he's like, look, hold on a minute. And his big sword, and it's like him playing dress up. Didn't work. So he has a sling and he picks out some very specifically designed stones that he liked, and he goes up against this giant with a sling and a stone. All you need is a mustard seed. All you need is that kernel of belief that says, you know what, my God, the godness in me, the godness in this world is bigger and stronger than any possible thing that could try to stand against me. So I'm going to give you a bit of homework this week. Just as David whipped off that sling and vanquished the dragon, beat Goliath, what is it in your life this week? What piece of BS are you holding on to that is holding on to you and holding you back? What can you uncover this week, walking through this week, about what you're holding that you could let go of? So it's about letting go of something that we may not even realize we're holding on to that's holding us back, that limiting belief. Mine is, I'm just a girl. I don't know how many times I've said it, and I've been invited recently by a very good friend to stop saying that. He said, I've known a lot of things about you, but one thing I've never thought is that you're just a little girl. Because thank God, as we said this morning, thank God I'm only 5 feet tall, because if I was about 6 foot, nobody else could fit in this room. So, but that's the thing. I grew up in unity. This belief system has been such a gift to me over and over again when life has taken me down to my knees, when I'm on the downward spiral of the spiral. I am invited to know, because it's like muscle memory for me, because I've grown up in it. I'm invited to know that God is in this too. That whatever is before me can be for me, only if I allow it to be. And so maybe you could let go of being a victim of circumstance this week and release your innate power to create circumstances. Maybe you could let go of never being enough and unleash your self-worth. Maybe you could let go of never having enough time to get everything done. I lived that paradigm for a really long time. Ran around like a chicken with my head cut off. Oh gosh, that's a terrible analogy. But ran around constantly doing the next thing and at a feverish pace. What if you could let go of that belief that you've got to keep going, and then embrace the thought that whatever needs to get done today is going to get done? Now, that does not mean lay on your couch eating ice cream and expect everyone to accomplish it, That means we put feet to our faith. But we don't necessarily have to struggle and run after each and everything. The biggest story, and I'm going to leave you with this story, the biggest story that I can remember of letting go of something, it was the most beautiful embrace of my recent existence. I shared with you guys that there came a time that after my husband died, it was about 2 years in, that every time I caught a glimpse of the engagement part of my ring, it made me really sad. And I felt so far away from that place. And I thought, I'm going to take my wedding ring off. But I couldn't possibly go anywhere without something that looked like a wedding ring, because I'm just a little girl. Right? So there's that balance, right? And so I knew that I would wear some sort of band, but I wanted to take off my engagement ring, and because all of mine was soldered together, I couldn't take off the engagement ring without taking off the wedding band. And I went through a real search with that, and I didn't want to let it go, but at the same time, life was screaming at me, you need to take this off. It's time to take it off. And the thought of it being in a little box in the dark or a jewelry box broke my heart. And so I just kind of put it out to the universe, and I thought, okay, it's time for me to take this off, but I kind of need a reason. I kind of need something to slide in place that really tells me it's time to take it off. Because, we Unity people we want a sign kind of people. And so my son came up here for the fair. Now, we're from West Palm Beach. Palm Beach County Fair and the South Florida Fair comes to Palm Beach County. The Highlands County Fair is a little different. And so my son decided he really needed some mom time. And he said, Mom, could I just come up and you and I go to the fair and you and I spend the day together? And I said, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And I said, I'm going to tell you, it's different size fair, And so we get there, and I've shared with you before that my son has Asperger's. He's autistic. And autistic people are very, very legalistic, very logical people. And we're walking through what is of the Highlands County Fair, and he's looking at the rides. And he goes, that one doesn't look safe to go on, Mom. I don't think I want to go on that ride. And then we go by another one, and he's like, I don't think I want to go on that ride either. And like every ride we went by, he was like, no, that looks kind of dangerous, or no, I don't think we're going to do that. So we did the Highlands County Fair in 22 minutes from the time from the time we got our tickets to the time we got back to the car. It was 22 minutes. So we went to lunch at the watering hole, and we're sitting there talking, and I said, none of my business. You're grown up now, but are you ever going to ask Val to marry you? Because they're living together in my house over in West Palm Beach. And I said, do you have, I know you kids are all evolved and you don't need marriage and all that kind of stuff, but I'm kind of mom, And he said, well, yeah. He said, I've been wanting to ask her to marry me, but I don't have a ring yet. And he said, as a matter of fact, we got into a fight about it. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I was trying to save up money, and she noticed I wasn't buying things, and she was ending up having to treat for dinner and things like that. And he said, so she asked me one day, is there a reason that you're, is everything okay financially? Because they take care of each other, their own finances. And he said, Mom, I blanked. I didn't know what to say. And he plays really expensive, what I would call disposable games, but he plays this game called World of Warcraft, and he plays, and there's another one, but he does these little models that he paints and all that kind of stuff. They're very expensive, ridiculous price for a piece of plastic. So he thought, ooh. So he said to her, I'm saving up for a new set. And she said, you're a grown-up now. I'm glad you want to have fun, but I would like to have dinner and not pay for it. Thank you very much. And so they kind of got into a little fight, and he said, and again, he's autistic. He doesn't hide things. It doesn't work that way. And so he goes, I'm trying to buy you an engagement ring. And she said, so she knew. So when he said to me at the watering hole, I think I'd like to, propose, my daughter would be in line for the ring next, and so I called her at the table and I said, because she doesn't need or want it, and I said, is it okay with you if I offer the ring to Gabriel and Val for them to use? And we all cried and said yes, and talked about my late husband and all that kind of stuff. And since they have remade the ring, they pulled the wedding bands off, and they've renewed it, and it makes me so gleeful to see the ring on her finger every time I see it. It completely shifted my paradigm. My husband would love the fact that ring is going to go on and be in another marriage in our family. And the kicker for me is my husband was not my first husband, and my son was already born when he and I got engaged. And my son went to the store and picked out that ring when he was 6 years old with my husband. So now it graces the finger of his wife-to-be. When we let things go in that way, when we allow God to move through what is in front of us and picture and outpicture and manifest things that we can't possibly conceive of, if we just leave that room, when you let it go, when you step into the next spin of the spiral, every time you go by that thing again, you're going to be in a better and safer and more expansive space. Let it go. The BS. Let it grow in you. And let's do this together, shall we? Thank you all so much for being here this morning. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Please visit www.unityofsebring.org for more information, to submit a prayer request, or to donate to our ministry. We hope to see you again very soon.